Salam. Sorry I've been gone, you guys, but I've come back for a reason, and I'd like to talk about that. Um, blood quantum. I know you're probably thinking, what the hell is that? Blood quantum is a concept created by white settlers, and it describes the amount of Indian blood a specific person possesses. Why was it created? It was created in order to limit the amount of claims upon the land that is legally ours. So, the less natives, the less Indians there are to claim a certain piece of land, the less the United States government has to fight to steal that land. Does that make sense? Yeah, it's pretty messed up. So, that's how it started. Now, as a people, we have begun to use blood quantum to aid in our own survival. It was meant as a tool to dismantle the strength of tribes, but we have begun to utilize it um, in order to survive. We don't want to be bred out by colonizers. It's important that we know our blood status so that our children and our children's children are aware that when they procreate, when they get married and have children, that they understand that they are that child is losing some of the genetic makeup that makes our people. Now, this was founded in eugenics, okay? Eugenics, I don't really want to get into that, but basically taking the purest and the rarest of whatever and using that to make something better. So basically taking out all of the sick and weak individuals from a group and only breeding the strong ones. I'm not talking about that. But this has aided our survival in, and I'm not going to argue with people saying, oh, this was a racist thing to begin with, and now you're touting it as some sort of survival method. Yeah, I kind of am, but sometimes when an enemy introduces a weapon to be used against you, you can use that weapon against them. So this is one of those circumstances. So it's not just the United States that uses blood quantum in order to identify and control indigenous, people, but Canada does this. I know for a fact that Australia does this with their indigenous population because the less people that qualify to be recognized as indigenous, then the less money and the less arguments they have when that government decides to steal that person's land or resources. That being said, um, yeah, can you believe it? This is actually being used in today's society. It would be kind of like going and saying, like, wow, I've heard a lot of people say that, like Mauritania, oh my God, they just eliminated slavery, just a couple generations ago. Okay, do you think that the West has clean hands? They don't. Okay, so let's steer this topic in another direction. Israel. So Israelis are very, very fond of saying that they are indigenous to the Palestinian land. Okay, prove it. Apparently, the US government doesn't take my word for it that I'm a Cheyenne tribal member. I had to prove my genetics to them. In fact, I have a tribal ID card that actually shows the exact fraction of native blood that I have. which is actually, if you think about it, Israel, they're always talking about, having to wear that star, which was horrible in World War II. That is horrible that they were forced to wear that star. But did that star give actual uh, biometric data on their genetics that anybody could read? Did that star also give a social security number and birth date? No? Okay. Because we still have that. So if this is using, if this system of blood quantum is still being used and required for Native American people and other indigenous populations around the world, let's do it for Israel. They say they're Middle Eastern. Okay, prove it. Let's begin a blood status program. Whereas anyone that falls under 25% Middle Eastern DNA is no longer entitled to land ownership, healthcare, education, because that's what my people have to go through. Is it okay for that to happen to me because I'm not white? Do I have to be European? Oh, I'm sorry. Do I have to look European? Because anybody can look at me and see that I am Native American. However, did you know that I'm also German? A little bit? Does that German blood give me the right to go into Germany and take away the home of somebody that's living in Germany and claim it as my own? Because however many generations ago, I had a German person that entered my genetic pool. All of this is absolutely ridiculous. I don't want to muddy the waters here, but we absolutely need to implement a program like this if we are going to continue to partake in this delusion that these Europeans are Middle Eastern. Sorry about the cars driving by. We're absolutely going to have to do some type of program in order to have some sort of accountability for the tax dollars, because I pay taxes. Other people who are citizens of the United States pay taxes. Our tax dollars are going over to fund Israel and these white Middle Eastern people. Okay, well, you guys are so worried about your tax dollars funding my people. We're taking money from the government, everyone says in the US. We're a burden on the society, everyone says. Okay, Native Americans are a burden. You guys require us to show authentication of our genetic status. Okay, let's start this in Israel. And let's begin it today. Have a great day, you guys, and thanks for listening to my rant. I'll be getting back to my English videos, but what's been going on in Palestine as a Native American person, and I really even hate to say Native American because that's not who I am. I'm a Cheyenne. So as a Cheyenne, an indigenous Cheyenne person, woman, I have been getting PTSD watching what's been going on over in Palestine. It's having me recall my childhood of seeing my father break down in tears and crying over describing what happened to my grandmother's family during the Sand Creek massacre. Describing what my grandmother's family went through when they broke out of the concentration camp in Fort Robinson, Nebraska. Bet you didn't know there was a concentration camp there, did you? Everyone talks about, the Holocaust, which was horrible, that anybody died. That's absolutely terrible. Did you know that 100 million indigenous people in North America perished due to settler colonialism from Europe, from Canada and the US implementing a boarding school system, which stole our children, brainwashed them, raped them, starved them, and killed a lot of them? My father, he's a survivor. He was a survivor. He's passed away now, but he was a survivor of that place. He was raped every week from the age of 5 until he got out of that boarding school in order to get out of the boarding school, he actually joined the US military and chose to go to Korea to fight in Korea. And because at least there he would get a meal every day. Biden apologized for the boarding school system. Okay, put your money where your mouth is. There are broken families because of this system, and our culture is in shambles. America and Canada, you have a lot of work to do. But instead of shoveling all of our money to Israel, start taking that money and taking care of the mess you created right in your own home. And I say that with air quotes because it's a home that you stole. And you're helping another European group steal somebody else's home. For shame. See you guys later. So sorry this is another heavy topic, but I will get back to English videos. I swear. Bye-bye, guys.